Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the online class. We are discussing about the Great Stone Face. We were reading about this chapter, right? Tell me the thing what we have seen in this chapter yesterday. We'll just take a recap of that and then we'll continue the rest part of the chapter, okay? So, what were the things we have seen? That Ernest grew old, and now he is waiting for the to be fulfilled of this old prophecy. What was the prophecy? The prophecy was there will be a person, there will be a man who will reassemble the face, the all qualities of this great stone face. Okay, so let's see what were the things we have seen yesterday. We have seen that all the people were like Ernest was very familiar, was very renowned person in his own valley. Okay, many of the people came to visit him and to take advices or to just converse with him, and because he was very kind, very sincere, very calm person, and everyone loves to talk with him, to have some conversation with him. Okay, on the other side there was a man who, like the it is said in the chapter that God granted him on the earth as for his poetry and all, because he was also the poet was there was a poet who was also from the same valley from where the Ernest was. Okay, so this poet used to write poems and used to sing songs and all, and he used, like, he kept the memory, he kept the great stone face like a thing or prophecy in his own diction in his own poetry. Okay, but he was like Ernest was unknown about this poet, and one day the poet decided to meet this man Ernest because he wanted to see whether it is true that Ernest was the really a kind man, a calm man, or a sincere man. He wanted to meet, he wanted to witness that by his own. And one day, what happened? He visited Ernest, and he reached to the door, the cottage door of Ernest, and he asked that, where can I get a shelter? Can you give a shelter to a traveler? And Ernest, as he was very kind, he said, yes, okay, fine, you can take a shelter here. But he was also exclaimed with that how this great stone face, like, it does not talk, it does not express anything, but it is our imagination that when a cloud moves, we say, oh, it is looked like an animal, oh, it looked like an elephant, oh, it looked like a mother who is carrying his own baby, he is smiling, or they are playing. These are imagination, our own way to see things, right? So Ernest also, when he saw to the great stone face, he said that, oh my God, from this many year, no, everyone came, but the great stone face saw some hospitality to this man, showing some great response to this poet when he came to the door. Okay, and later on, what this Ernest asked, okay, who are you? And what he said, that I'm the poet of this book, okay, which you are reading. But Ernest said that, I thought that it would be like a very likeness to this great stone face while reading this all the poems and all, and he was totally disappointed by hearing this, that he does not have any likeness or the quality, or not resembling the quality of this great stone face. I will continue the rest part of the chapter, that is, you can hear them, the distant voice of a heavenly. Look, last what I said, that this poet said that, no, I'm not the worthy person to be compared to this great stone face. Okay, and he said, why not? Asked Ernest. He pointed to the book, and are not those thoughts worthy? Like he said, Ernest, he said that, no, I'm not worthy, but Ernest said, Why not? You are worthy. Maybe your poems are not like, but now the situation is that you are worthy of that. And when he used to read that, he used to say that no, no one is likeness to be that great stone face. But now when he came there, he said no, no, you can be compared, you can resemble the qualities of this great stone face. But the poet refused that. You can hear in them the distant voice of heavenly song, but my life, dear Ernest, has not corresponded with my thoughts. Like, what are my thoughts and what I am? It's not equal one. They are like bothly not being compared, or they are not just equal. They are corresponded one. I have had grand dreams, but they have been only dreams. Sometimes I lack faith in my own thoughts. Why, then, pure seeker of the good and true, should you hope to find me in the face of the mountain? Oh my, I'm not the one, okay? I'm not the worthy one. Even my desires, my like faith, I lack in my faith. I have many dreams. I have lots of dreams, but they are unfulfilled. And you said that I'm the worthy one to be compared. No, it's not like that, because my thoughts and my nature, or the thing, both are not, my lifestyle are both are not use both are not equal one. They are correspondent to each other. The poet spoke sadly, and his eyes were wet with tears. So too were those of Ernest. Now both were filled with tears in their own eyes. What was the reason why they felt so? Okay, because Ernest was in the hope of fulfilling old prophecy, but here the poet was not that. Now, the poet said about his own life that my dreams are not fulfilled, and that was the reason he was sad and he filled with tears. At the hour of sunset, as had long been his custom, Ernest was to speak to a group of neighbors in the open air. Together, he and the poet went to the meeting place, arm in arm. From there could be seen the great stone face. Okay, this was the daily habit, usual habit of Ernest, to go have some conversation with their neighbors or the people who come there. Okay, he used to talk with them, he used to spend some time with them under like near stone, a great stone face where this was visible. The place was that. Okay, and he took the poet with him, together arm in arm, where the people were waiting and the place was near Great Stone Face. Ernest threw a look of familiar kindness around upon his audience. Yeah, he looked everyone with a kindness, eyes, or the with a kindness heart. He began to speak to the people what was in his heart and mind. His words had power because they agreed with his thoughts, and his thoughts had reality and depth because they harmonized with the life which he had always lived. Yeah, whatever he wanted to say, that was truly from his own heart. And they used to be very compared one, जो अंदर से है, what he is from inside and what he is from outside. Like sometimes people pretend na कि they say that I'm very kind, but when we start living with them, we realize that they are not the real kind person. But the people believe about Ernest that he is the kind man. Okay, but inside also he was kind, and outside also he was kind. He was the same person, and that was his thoughts, and his words were so powerful because they are corresponded one, because they are very equal one. It was not mere breath that the preacher uttered. They were the words of life. A life of good deeds and selfless love was melted into them. Yeah, it was not only the word, it was not only the word which was uttered by that preacher or Ernest. It was the real experience of his life, a very, we can say, selfless love which is melted and was spoken by his own mouth in the form of words. The poet, as he listened, felt that the life and the character of Ernest were a nobler strain of poetry than he had ever written. His eyes filled with tears, and he said to himself that never was there so worthy a sage that as that mild, sweet, thoughtful face, with the glory of white hair diffused about it. Means this was the quality he felt when he was when he was having some conversation with his neighbor. The poet felt that, oh my god, I never saw a person filled with this so much kind. He was so calm, he was so mild one, he was so sweet, and also he has a thoughtful face. Okay, and what he said, he is a worthy a sage, means a worthy a wise man. He filled with the glory, like what he saw on Ernest's face with his personality, and also he said that all where there was a white hair on his face, head, or everywhere. At a distance, but clearly to be seen, high up in the golden light of the setting sun, appeared the great stone face. Okay, as I said that, remember, they met the people, they met the neighbors, where the place was very near to the great stone face. As when the sun was setting down, it gave a golden light and that fall over the great stone face with white mist around it. White mist means the fog. Okay, like the white hairs around the brows of Ernest. Ernest के brows पे, eyebrows पे, there were white hairs. At that moment, Ernest's face looked, oh, on an expression so grand that poet was moved to throw his arms up and shout. Okay, as you can see in the picture, how Ernest hold the poet. Okay, there's the picture. Okay, I forgot it is there. Now, as you can see how this poet hold Ernest from his own arm. When he saw something unusual on the great stone face, that the golden light and the fog which was moving there, just like the Ernest white hair on his eyebrows, he compared the both thing, Ernest face and the great stone face. Okay, and then what he did, he shouted sprangly and said that, behold, behold, Ernest is himself the kind likeness of the great stone face. Now he took all the attention of the people and he said, oh my god, please look at here. Everyone just stop and see. The old prophecy is now going to be completed, because this great stone face, we can see it resembles all the feature, all the likeness to be like earnest face. Everyone please now see here. And he caught everyone attention and he said to the people that, see, yes, you can compare both face of the great stone face and the earnest face. Then all the people looked and saw what the poet said was true. Now all the people turned to the great stone face and they compared and they agreed to the poet that yes, the old prophecy now got completed. The prophecy was fulfilled, but Ernest, having finished what he had to say, took the poet's arm and walked slowly homeward, still hoping that some wiser and better man than himself would by and by appear, bearing a resemblance to the great stone face. This by after happening this all, everyone was so cheerful. They were happy that they got the old prophecy of this great stone face. But Ernest himself was not happy because he thought that someone more wiser, Someone more better man was there to be resembling or the likeness of this great stone face. I was not the one, but as the people were happy and Ernest thought that कि मेरे से कोई और अच्छा हो सकता था. Maybe I was thinking, but okay, if the people think me, and he get back to his home with the poet, and he hold the arm of the poet and he get homeward with the poet. And here we finish the chapter. Okay, the at last what we started from the chapter, the great stone face, chapter 1. Okay, part 1 in the chapter number 9, that Ernest and his mother were she told that one day this old prophecy was going to be completed. A man would be there whose face will be just like this, the great old stone face. But at last, in this chapter, Great Stone Face Part 2, we came to know Ernest himself resemble all the likeness of this Great Stone Face. Okay, so here we completed the chapter. Now your work is to prepare a summary of the chapter. Okay, now come to the comprehension check. Give the question's answer. Like when I'll read the question, just give your answer, because after understanding the question, you can say whether the statement is given true or false. Okay. The first one, Ernest's word reminded people of the wise old saying. Is that true or false? Total strangers from far away who visited Ernest in the valley found his face familiar. The great stone face confirmed Ernest's view that the poet could be worthy of its likeness. When Ernest and the poet met, they respected and admired each other equally. The poet, along with Ernest, addressed the inhabitants of the valley. The poet realized that Ernest's thoughts were far nobler than his own verses. Now, what you have to do, as I read the question now, after reading the question, you can give your answer according to you whether the statement is true or false in the comment section. Okay? Now, we'll move to the another exercise, that is working with the text. How was Ernest different from others in the valley? Because he was so kind, he was so sincere, mild when he used to converse, or whether anyone come to him. Why did Ernest think the poet was like the stone face? Because it was discussed in the poem. He compared the poem lines with the poet, and he thought the poet face is resembles likeness like the stone face. Why did the poet himself say about his thoughts and poem? Why? What did the poet himself say and about his thoughts and poem? He said that my thoughts and the poem, what is written in the poem book, it is not the similar one. It has some corresponding ideas. Like my thoughts and the poem lines are very different one. They are not the same. My desires, dreams are different than what is written in the poem. What made the poet proclaim Ernest was the stone face? When it was the time of sunset, the golden light of sun fall on the great stone face, and the mist which was moving around the mountain, it made Ambrose white like Ernest, and that was the reason he compared when to the Ernest face to the great stone face. He found that it similar looks like and the qualities. Okay, now write Ernest or poet against each statement below. Now you have to tell me whether this statement is told by Ernest or the statement told by poet. Okay, you can do it by yourself now. Okay, you can read it, the question, just give a pause to the video and write the answer in the comment section. Give a pause to the video and give all the answers 1 to 10 in the comment section. Okay? Who, by common consent, turned out to be like the great stone face? Ernest, by the common consent, turned out to be like the great stone face. Did Ernest believe that all prophecy had come true? No, he did not believe that. Why? What did he say? Because he said that someone more wise, someone more better one deserve the likeness to be like the great stone face. Okay, now you have to match the meaning. For matching them, you need to go through the dictionary or Google. So Google it and find the correct match for the given word, group of word, like going down, brightening, spacious. So go for it and find out the word meaning and match them. And there's more: prophecy, marvelous, proclaim, seize, a night shelter, gazed, took on. So these were the thing, and please go through the dictionary or Google it and find the correct one. Read the following sentences. Okay. I will leave to see him. He will come. Fear not, Ernest, the man will come. Gather gold is arriving tomorrow, people said. Blood and Thunder starts his journey back to the valley next week, everyone proclaimed. The great man is going to spend his old age in his native town. Notice that in the above sentences, words in bold type are in four different forms. Yes, I will leave, will come, will is arriving, starts, going to. Okay, denoting four important ways of expressing future time. These are the future time, but they are expressed in a very different way. None of these can be said to be exclusively used to show future time, though it is used to refer some action in future. Yeah, they seem to like they are not expressing some future, but by reading and understanding, or by like translating the sentences, we understand that this time is made, this time is denoting some future action. Which form of the verb is more natural in these sentences? Encircle your answer. Now you have to encircle the two option which is given in light sky blue color. Okay, you have to just encircle that, which answer, which option deserve, which is more natural in this sentence. Choose them. Okay, go for it. Now complete the conversation. Will or going to. You have to fill in the blanks. Fill the conversation with will and going to. Okay. So you have to do it by yourself. Where you'll feel the problem, you can ask. Okay. Where you will feel the problem to complete this, you can ask. Okay. Speaking and writing here given. Um, each of the following word has the sound F. Okay, as in feel. Okay, while saying anything, be pronounce or a sound come like F. The word on the left have it initially, those on the right it finally. Speak each word clearly. Now you have to do some pronunciation practice. So do this. Okay, flail, life, Philip, puff, flowed, deaf, fact, fail, fast, tough, laugh, stiff. You can see everywhere you can hear the sound of F. Okay, where it is written GH, there also you can see here a sound of F. Okay, underline the letter or the letters representing F in each of the following words. Now you have to underline them, or the letters, maybe two or more. So you have to find them which pronounce like ending F. Okay, representing F. Imagine that you are the poet. You have come to your native valley to meet a famous preacher called Ernest. Narrate the incident of your first meeting with him. Now you have to do this by your own. Do this, and here we complete the chapter. Okay, and the chapter exercise. So, guys, you can find the answers by your own. Read everything, use dictionary, and find out the answer, and true and false, and whatever the things. You just give the answer in the comment section and read the chapter. Find out the word meaning which are difficult for you. Okay, and memorize that all the things. Okay, meanings of that particular word, and try to try to use that word in your own sentence and day to day life. And this is all about the chapter, and here we complete the chapter itself and the book also. Okay, your NCERT book, honeycomb book, got finished with this chapter. So finish everything in your copy, and have a nice day to all, and bye everyone.